All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is the moment of silence. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Present.
Trustee Reinders.
Present.
Trustee Lepore.
Present.
Trustee Muller. Trustee Schaller.
Present.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Present.
Mayor Knightsky-Troicke.
Present. Next is community recognition. I don't believe we have any tonight. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
Mayor, I'd like to make an amendment to the agenda. I would like to move M, M1, and N right after consent agenda.
Okay, so you want to move the workshop and the public comment following the workshop up
Yes. Yes.
before consent agenda? After?
After consent agenda.
Is there any more amendments? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll approve that motion.
Oh, that was you made the motion, you made the second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll on the amendment to the agenda.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve January 28th, 2026 Committee of the Whole meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Holzhauser, is there a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Trustee Mason?
Nope.
No. Oh, Trustee Lepore, sorry. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is public comment. So if you notice on the agenda, there's two sections for public comment tonight, as Trustee Reinders moved one up. There's two sign-in sheets. If you haven't signed in and you'd like to, now is your chance. Thank you very much. Okay, first is Mark Daniel. You're on the agenda this evening. Do you want to? Okay, sure. And then Jeff Miller, same thing. Okay. And James Sugray? You're on the agenda as well? Okay. Well, then there's the public comment. All righty. So now we're going to move on to reports and communication from President and other officers. The Village Manager, Joe Baber, is not here this evening. We'll start with the trustees. Trustee Schaller, you want to go first?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening. I want to take a moment to address a few concerns I've heard repeatedly from residents because they are important and it deserves some clarity. I want to be clear about where we are tonight. This is a preliminary workshop discussion only on ARIA. The purpose of this meeting is to hear early concepts, ask questions, and identify concerns. No approvals are being considered this evening. If this approval moves forward, it must still go through the normal and required process, including formal application, review by the Planning Commission, public hearings, and ultimately action by this board. Again, this project is in a very early stage and nothing has been approved, but as it continues through the proper review process, my focus will remain on three things: no rentals, no neighborhood cut-through traffic, and strong protections for the residents. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Schaller. Trustee Reinders?
Mayor, I would just like to piggyback on Trustee Schaller. The residents really deserve the true facts of what happens and what goes on in the village. And all of the chatter that's out there really doesn't help the residents at all. It actually just, for the residents that want answers, it only makes it more difficult. So I would just say that, the facts are the facts in this case, and we haven't made any decisions yet. This is a protocol. When somebody wants to come into our village, it's a courtesy that we, the trustees, give, and we meet and we work with them to see if these things would even, if they're even something that would be considered in our village. So I just think it's really very disheartening for all the misinformation that goes out there.
Thank you. Trustee Mason?
Yes, Madam Mayor, just a little housekeeping item. As a village official and the chair of the Public Service and Safety Committee, I would like to provide an update regarding our local ordinances on kratom and their related products. It is important to clarify that kratom remains legal and available for adults to utilize for chronic pain, PTSD, and other wellness needs. However, to prioritize public safety, the sale of synthetic versions of containing 7-hydroxymetadine or 7-OH is strictly prohibited within the village limits. Furthermore, no kratom products may be sold to individuals under the age of 21. Marketing and directing it towards minors is forbidden. Educational notices have been distributed throughout the village to all the local businesses to ensure that they are informed of these regulations. While our initial approach is focused on compliance, throughout and spot checks and warnings will be issued. Repeated violations will result in fines and potential revocation of the business licenses. Our primary goal is the safety of our youth and the well-being of our community. That's it.
Thank you. Trustee Lepore?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to comment, it's great to see a packed room. Love seeing everyone out here. I hope the resident interaction and the enthusiasm continues beyond tonight. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Trustee Holzhauser?
No report tonight.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Just a couple updates. The Homer Junior High cheer team competed today at the IESA state finals, and sadly they did not place in the top. Congrats to the LTHS varsity cheer for placing second at IHSA state this past weekend. There were 2 individual placers for first and second for girls bowling at IHSA regionals last week, and the team took first at regionals. Boys wrestling has sectionals this weekend. LTHS has 7 wrestlers competing for their ticket to the state finals. LTHS girls wrestling just competed at regionals last weekend. For the 4th year in a row, our very own Claudia Heaney was regional champ at her weight class. The team as a whole took 3rd place. And there are many more other updates, but this is all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Village Attorney?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just briefly, as everyone knows, or everyone should know at this point, back on January 27th, Illinois American Water filed its notice for a approximate $130 million rate increase with the Illinois Commerce Commission. I've been instructed as village attorney to file an official objection and to formally object in that proceeding on behalf of the Village of Homer Glen. So we'll be working hand in hand with Citizens Utility Board in addition to the Illinois Attorney General and vociferously objecting to it and fighting to the best of our ability through that process to fighting against that rate increase. Thank you.
Thank you. Public safety officials? You're good? Last is me. I think I'll save my comments for the workshop. All right, moving on to K, consent agenda. Number 1, consider for approval the accounts payable for the period of January 31st, 2026 through February 12th, 2026 in the amount of $247,949.81. 2, consider for approval a professional services agreement with HR Green for Phase 2 engineering services in Parker Road over Spring Creek Bridge, structure number 099-4204, bridge rehabilitation project in the amount of $39,940.54. 3, consider for approval the purchase of 2 All Traffic Solutions Insta Alert 24 message board trailers in the amount of $31,108.24 for the EMA department. 4, consider for approval the purchase of a portable stage for the village to use at village events in the amount of $17,740. 5, consider for approval the Lions Pinner contract for installation of a new circuit breaker panel for new HVAC systems at the Village of Homer, the Village Hall in the amount of $24,900. 6, consider for approval the quote from Alta Equipment Company for the purchase of a new Genie AWP 25S in the amount of $12,942 for the Facilities Department. 7, consider for the approval the amended Mayor and Village Board Standard Operating Procedure number 002. Number 8, consider for the approval payment of the Village of Homer Glen's 2026 annual membership dues from the Will County Governmental League in the amount of $24,609.45. 9, consider for approval the quote for an IT security services annual contract with Field Effect in the amount of $10,260. And 10, consider for the approval Resolution 26-003, a resolution establishing a volunteer community service program for the Village of Homer Glen. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Reiners, Trustee Mason. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're now going to move on to item M, which is the workshop, which is what I assume everybody is here for tonight. So discussion regarding ARA, a 15.5-acre mixed-use community vacant just east of 12542 West 159th Street. Is the representatives from ARA here? Hello. Welcome. Hi.
My name is George Arnold on behalf of the ARIA Group. 2 weeks ago, I introduced you to the overview.
Is it on? Is it green?
It is not.
There we go.
That sounds much better.
All right.
I'll start over.
Okay.
My name is George Arnold on behalf of the ARIA Group, and 2 weeks ago when I was here, I introduced you to the ownership team. And present again tonight is Boris Predovich, and also with him is Pat Gardner. In addition, we have Steve Francis, who you heard from before from Linden Group, our land planner, and Steve Shira, our landscape architect. We are anxious to continue to work with the village to bring this project to Homer Glen. And we have listened to the village. This new board and new administration asked us to reduce the number of units. And we did reduce them from 170 to 66. That's a more than 61% reduction in units. And it has resulted in a plan that we're pretty excited about. And I'd like to invite Steve Francis up to continue the presentation of the plan.
Thank you. And before you do that, I do want to emphasize how much we appreciate, because I know you guys came to the last board meeting to give a presentation. Unfortunately, it was not posted in a time that I felt was proper. So I appreciate you guys coming back out again for the second time to give the same presentation again.
Sure, and we're happy to do it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm going to ask that this time, is there a motion to suspend the rules for open discussion? I know that we have residents that signed in for the public comment. What I'm going to ask, if the board so approves, that while they're speaking, if there's a question, please raise your hand. If you did not sign in, it's okay. But I will go through the names if you guys would like to speak. I'd like to run this as a regular meeting, have decorum, and respect each other, but let's talk this out and ask the questions so you can get the real information, real facts, not this garbage that you're reading on Facebook and social media and mailers that go out. I want true facts given tonight. So is there a motion to suspend the rules?
I'll make the motion to suspend the rules to open it up to the workshop, Madam Mayor.
Trustee
I'll
Mason,
second.
Trustee Reinders. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Good evening. I'm Steve Francis with Linden Group Architects. We're the land planner and will be the architect on the project.
Can you make sure that mic is on, please?
I believe it is.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity tonight. ARIA is a master planned 15.5 acre lifestyle-based community providing an elevated residential, walkable, lifestyle-focused, mixed-use community with retail, commercial conveniences nearby. ARIA has been developed with an emphasis on local ownership and stewardship, collaboration with village leadership, alignment with Homer Glen's values, and purposefully buffering commercial spaces from living spaces and gathering spaces with enhanced grading and landscape features. This development is designed the ARIA way based on Blue Zone philosophy. We strive to achieve health and wellness and balance, walkability and connection, nature forward based on low maintenance designs, and a sense of community and gathering and belonging. We have emphasized this inspiration of well-being throughout the development and placement of amenity spaces for gathering, reflection, and well-being in different locations in the development, as well as small park space or tot lot has been requested by the trustees, and also as a meditative area with views of the detention area at the northeast corner of the development. As you enter the site from 159th Street, you will find two mixed-use buildings with 16,000 square foot footprint each. The first floor on those buildings will be 30,000 square foot of leasable retail or commercial space with an opportunity for outdoor gathering and dining spaces overlooking the ponds and the landscaping along 159th Street. Second floor will be 16 condominium units varying in size from 1,250 square feet to 1,500 square feet with balconies.
Can I pause you for a second? You said 16 condominiums. I thought the last presentation was between 20 and 26.
There's 26 total, so there's each floor is broken down. So second floor is 8 units on each floor.
Okay.
Third floor is 5 units on each floor, so the total is 26.
So the third floor is the penthouse style?
That is correct, yes. So
Okay,
a
I
little
just
bit
want
larger-
clarity because someone listening to this later might say you only said 16 and then there's 20.
Yeah, so second floor
Okay.
is 16, there's an additional 10 on the third floor.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. The third floor has 10 penthouse condominium units with outdoor terraces, so there's larger outdoor spaces. They vary from 1,500 to 1,800 square feet with scenic overviews of the development. Lower level is conditioned indoor parking for 68 cars total, as well as storage lockers for tenant belongings. North of the roundabout is the gated villas, 40 ranch duplex villa units varying from 1,850 to 1,950 square feet, each with 2-car garages and outdoor deck and patio spaces with views of the wooded perimeter. Perimeter units will have the opportunity for lookout or walkout basements. The villas will be enhanced by amenity spaces throughout, working, gathering, and recreation areas located throughout the development. ARIA has been carefully planned to be in alignment with the needs of the village and to be a premier location in Homer Glen.
Okay, I don't mean, are you done?
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Who's got the clicker to change the photos? Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of flip through these photos and go through some things. Thank you for the presentation.
You're very welcome.
I'd like to ask some questions. You know, again, this is just an informative meeting. As Trustee Schaller stated earlier, we're not voting anything. Nothing was passed, nothing was proved, no backdoor deals, nothing was done. This was, the residents asked for transparency, and this is what we're doing. When stuff comes to us, when developments come to us, we are going to bring it to you guys so you guys can all hear and see when we hear it and hear everything that we hear at the same time. Oh, are they leaving? Thank you. So first, I'm going to ask a couple questions. Can you go back to the previous slide real fast? So there's been a lot of misconception out there that this would be in the backyard, literally, in the backyard of what the subdivision to my right is the Twin Lakes. How many feet, how many acres, how many yards is that away from that subdivision?
It's probably 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. Do you have the overlay where you can show that?
Yeah, it's right there, 1,141 feet.
Oh, there, it's right
Closest
there.
point, yeah.
There. So for anyone who was told that there was going to be an apartment complex in your backyard, completely false. You can see it right here. The pink area is another developer, other land. The box right there, that's right next to Butterfly Garden, is that correct?
Yeah.
So just to give you guys a perception of where it's at, it's Butterfly Garden.
About a half mile down there.
Okay. Okay, so you want to go to the next slide? Did anybody have a question on that portion?
I don't have a question.
If you could just raise your hand and just state your name, just state your name. Perfect.
I just want to be clear that I use that path all the time, and I can see our neighborhood very clearly from the 159th, so I don't see how if extending a huge development that it wouldn't be able to, for our people in our neighborhood to see it.
I didn't say you wouldn't see it, I'm just saying it wouldn't be in your backyard. I mean, you can see, no, I'm being honest here. This is a wooded area, so if you look next to where the development is, it's a wooded area right next door. And I don't know where your home is located. If you can see through all of those trees where this, oh. It looks pretty wooded to me, I don't know.
It's wooded in different areas.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
My name's Patty. I live in Twin Lakes subdivision. I agree with what she's saying. It's not that wooded. Also, the lot, and I don't know the size of it, right at the end of the beginning of our subdivision on 159th, that's been for sale for a long time, correct?
I don't know which lot you're referencing.
Right next to it, as you enter.
Right next, okay.
So that's been for sale.
There's,
If this development something from being built right next to Twin Lakes subdivision.
Okay, so I have to explain something, I guess. So we can't stop, it is not our right to stop someone from developing something on their property. I understand that you like the trees. I understand that you guys like the open environment. But by law, I cannot tell someone you can never build anything on your property because your neighbors or somebody next to you may not like it. Now, this is commercial corridor in the front area. So commercial will have to come on 159th Street at some point. So, yes, ma'am?
Did you say me?
Yeah, yes, I'm still talking, yes.
So I understand that. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand what you're saying. But that doesn't mean we're in favor of housing going there. So if once you open this all up to this project, wants to say that's not going to get opened up to the same thing and there won't be housing right there, maybe
Okay,
zoning.
right, so this is a civil conversation, I appreciate it. So let me ask you, devil's advocate, would you prefer a gas station there? Would you prefer something, I'm sorry, versus housing? It's an honest question. I'm talking to this ma'am right here. Ma'am,
Yes.
what, to answer the question?
Not necessarily a gas station because there's one right there already. I prefer even a bank over multi-housing unit. Absolutely.
Yes, sir?
Okay, question on all this retail over there.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, but,
All the retail that's going in,
can I just have you come up so we can hear? There we go.
we got all this retail. If you drive down the Grange Road, all these empty malls, storefronts sitting empty. You got Walnut Square that's half empty. Do you even have anybody coming into this retail before you start building it?
So the petitioner's right behind you. He can answer these questions. Chris, would you do me a favor with would you mind going around to the audience, the microphone, yeah?
So allow me to introduce myself. I'm Boris Predovich and the CEO of Legacy Development Group that's responsible for this. And I want to start out with, I think I have been in Homer Glen for 18 years. I just checked and I think I paid $440,000 in taxes for owning this land. I waited for this road to be built for 18 years. So I just think that if I could be heard with an open mind, I will respect all of our neighbors, because without you, it makes it impossible. So I want to highlight the most important things is, there are no apartments. If the word is ever stated, I'll be the one by mistake to say it, I want to go on record, there will never be apartments. That's number one. Number two, how can I assure all of you, you don't know me. How I could assure you of that is, we're not going to build up front buildings till 70% of those condos are sold. So the bank will never give us the money and we wouldn't be able to take the risk. And it's the same thing with the restaurant and the coffee shop. So we feel...
You're going to build a base building there, right? You're going to go ahead and build this building, hoping you got people to come in and rent?
No.
Or you're going to have people...
Maybe I didn't state it clearly, I apologize for that. Let me try again. So we will not build any commercial building, which is the commercial downstairs as well the condominiums upstairs, till 70% of those condominiums would be sold, and those stores downstairs would also have to meet that 70% threshold.
Okay.
Does that?
Yeah, because there's all kinds of stores.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
I've been in retail for 50
I get it.
years.
Yeah.
Down Macy.
And I've been in real estate for 40 years,
Exactly.
so
That's why
I
I'm like,
respect
wait a
you.
minute, you know?
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I've seen it, you know?
We would not do well if we didn't get the right tenants, that's for sure, or homeowners.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comments.
We have Chris going to walk around with the microphones
Thank you.
to make it easier for everybody.
Any particular order, Mayor, or just whoever you called on?
Whoever raises their hand is
I think it was
totally
this
fine.
gentleman over here.
Thank you, Boris, for answering these questions.
Can you guarantee there will never be Section 8 housing in that complex?
That's actually a great question. I appreciate you asking that. So what's really important, we're getting private funding. So once you have private funding, the obligations to that is not necessary, and that is not the audience that would be able to afford our housing. So the answer is no.
What is the base pricing of the condominium?
Good question. The base price of the condos is going to be north of $500,000. With the penthouses approaching $1 million.
And how much is the, Boris, how much is the homes in the back?
600,000 is the magic starting point.
Is there any, oh, he's got that one.
All right, you said
Can you,
there's going to be...
just for the record, I need everyone to state their name.
My name's Jerry.
Thank you.
Okay, you say after 70%, then you got 30%. That still doesn't guarantee that you're not going to put section housing in there. Because you're not going to lose money, you're going to fill those buildings somehow. With a follow-up question, with the tenants being downstairs, do you lock them in? How many years are you locking these tenants in for? 5, 10, 15 years for the rental that commercial space?
Yes, that would be true. It would be a long-term lease agreement.
That's my question. How many years, each tenant comes in, are you locking them in for, what, 10, 15 years?
I think that would be very hard to predict. It would depend on who the client is. Minimum 5 years. It's typically
they
done.
do buildings downtown like that. I know building the post office, these companies came in, they're locked in for 15 years.
I appreciate that. I just don't want to be overambitious and tell you that we're going to lock in 15-year contracts. But what we can do, and this is very common, you do a 5-year agreement with 5-year extensions, and you could extend that, and that is a very common way of doing it.
Okay, now going back to my first question, you still didn't answer. If those buildings, those condos are vacant, are you going to tell me there's going to be no Section 8 in there?
There's going to be no...
Now you're going to reach out to the government just like you did.
Okay, I'm going to ask for decorum in this room. Once you ask your question, please allow him a minute to answer.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're very excited about this, as am I. I think it's very important that I give you respect, and I hope I can earn the respect from all of you as well. With that being said, there will be no Section 8. I will stand by that.
The gentleman up front had their hand up.
Thank you. I'm Mike. Those pink areas between the project and the Twin Lakes entrance, are those owned by somebody?
That is open land. I think it's farmland. I believe it's 70 acres, if I'm not mistaken.
It is owned by somebody, yes.
Okay, so I was just wondering, is this going to be like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3?
The pink areas are not owned by this gentleman here.
Okay.
They're owned by separate owners, landowners.
And speaking for myself, we came from an area that had turned into Section 8 housing. Total disaster. What I saw, reading online and that, and not the chit-chat channels, I thought it said somewhere that all communities must have a minimum of 10% affordable housing, and we're at 3.
I don't believe we're at 3. I think we're at more than that because...
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And
so
we've been here 30 years, and we do not want to have to move again. You know, the water's insane, and it seems like every time something happens, prices keep going higher and higher. So we're both retired now, and we want to stay put as long as God lets us stay here. We love the area. We can't say enough good things about our Will County Sheriff's Department. They are fantastic. Our fire department, everything to us is perfect. The neighbors, no complaints. I just don't want boys from the hood in my backyard anymore, okay? Sorry for that, but...
So what I will say is the gentleman, Mr. Boris, has stated, he's already stated that there will not be Section 8 housing. I do want everyone to understand something, though. If you as an individual homeowner wanted to rent your house out to Section 8, you can. We cannot stop you. We, as a village board, cannot do that.
It would be a violation of Illinois.
And as the attorney, I'm just going to say that it would be a violation if we were to not allow it.
It would be a violation of the Illinois Human Rights Act to preclude any person to rent. Let's say you own a house. Let's say I own a house down the street and I wanted to rent it to somebody, and I put a condition on that rental that you had to have your own source of income. I put a straight condition that precluded you from alternative sources of income. That would be against the Illinois Housing Act, or excuse me, the Illinois Human Rights Act, and you'd be subject to most likely an injunction, if not a massive fine.
So is anybody doing that or have done that here?
We do have people that rent to Section 8, yes, and we cannot stop them. It's not
And no one can. That is a provision under Illinois law. No one can do that. If your neighbor is doing that and you don't know, you don't know. You cannot have any law or you can't have any covenant that precludes rental based upon source of income. You cannot do that. It's a violation of Illinois law. Regardless of what people have been telling you, that's just a clear prohibition of Illinois law.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. There's another hand right here.
Okay, my name is Glen. I want to know if the board that's going to govern this, townhomes and the condos, would have a right, and we as a village, would we have a right to say that none of these can be sublet?
That's a question for Boris.
I think now I'm going to ask you the same question back. If you spend $500,000 to $1 million and you needed to take care of your mother in Florida and you needed to be by her side for 2 years because she needed the help, your house is going to be empty. You wouldn't want to rent it to someone that you would say would meet the criteria, would not have a felony or conviction, and there would be rules to being able to rent a few of those by the homeowners. So that's not, but it is worth highlighting. There's HOA fees for every condominium and every townhome. That's a big expense. You have taxes that they have to pay. So the reality, even if you were at an extreme and you had that house and you wanted to rent it, the rent would be north of $4,000. So even if you had a few of them rented, it is people that would be of the same caliber lifestyle that you're living yourselves.
Okay, but the question was, do we as a village have the right to put that condition on approval?
I think what would be great is we should have the same standard as everyone else in Homer Glen. If everyone agrees in Homer Glen to have that in your house, then I'll have it in my development.
Yeah, the village cannot force somebody to put no rentals.
Okay.
It would be, we'd get ourselves in a trick bag if we told him he couldn't rent out his property, but you can.
Okay.
Right?
It is worth highlighting that the intent is to sell 70% before we break ground. And you said, what about the rest? The rest, we have plenty of time while the whole thing is being built. So you have probably a year to sell 30% of the unsold, to answer the gentleman in the back that had valid questions.
If I may, real quick, I just want to remind all residents, you can go online through the Will County Housing Authority, and you can find voucher limits as per that site. The 2025 voucher limit, according to Homer Glen, based on zip code, is, I'm sorry, I said it right here, is a little over $2,500. That's the max you're going to get from a housing authority voucher. That's on a 2-bedroom. And how many bedrooms are these units, sir?
Two to three bedrooms.
You're not going to make it. You'll be underwater if you rent to a housing authority tenant in this scenario. Based on your mortgage payment, based on your association dues, based on your taxes, based on your insurance, you will not be able to, you need a renter with a higher source of income in order to afford, in order for the owner not to go into the red on these. And this is all online. You guys can pull these voucher limits yourself. It's accessible. Just go to Will County Housing Authority, pull the payment standards for 2025. The 2026s are not out yet, but they'll probably increase by 5%. So I encourage you to do your own research. Thank you.
Mr. Gruba?
Okay, I think that there was a woman in the front here. So the mayor, she's asking, do they both have statements? Is that okay?
If they pulled out statements?
They have statements to read.
Oh.
Yes.
Is it pertaining to ARA? Yes. Yeah, sure.
Okay. And then to the gentleman in the back. Okay. Okay.
Excuse me. In 2006, the village passed the tree preservation ordinance, and many work hours were spent on this ordinance by environment committee members, committees of the whole, and village boards have worked to improve this ordinance, but it was originally passed in 2006. Because of the important reasons found within the whereas section, this is for the benefit of our community, and we wanted to provide protection and maintenance of trees, to prevent the erosion of soil, sediment, improve air quality, energy conservation, our property values, and make the preservation and maintenance of the physical, historical, and aesthetic character of the village important. In 2010, a special use ordinance was passed for the development of 15.5 acres by Legacy Development, the property we're talking about. A tree survey and tree preservation plan was submitted and approved within the special use. The special use has since been extended multiple times. Later, during the widening of 159th Street, an agreement was made between Judd Law Contracting and Legacy Development to use the property for construction staging, material processing, excavation, and stockpiling. The village issued a temporary use permit for that. Most all of the trees were cleared from the west 7.75 acres. In tonight's supplement sheets, and I realize this is preliminary information from the planning department, so I don't mean to criticize. I just want to give a collective memory of what the village has gone through. So the supplemental sheet reads, tree removal mitigation, the west 7.75 acres of the site appears unforested, while the east 7.75 acres is forested. A tree survey will be required to accurately calculate the amount of tree mitigation or restitution required. And I just want to make it known that it is my contention that with the approval of the special use in 2010 and every extension since, the property carries with it both permissions and responsibilities. The original tree survey should be brought forth and combined with a new tree survey in order to make a true and complete tree preservation plan. That's it.
Thank you. Boris, would you like to touch base on that? Or Steve?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah, we know that, you know, based on what...
Can you pull the mic up?
Yeah, no problem. We know that by what needs to be done on the site, we know we have mass grading to do. We know that there's been trees removed. We know that we have to meet or exceed the village ordinance requirement for...
Or exceed, I like that word.
That's correct, right? Yeah. So it's our goal, we're very early in our planning stages at this point. So, it's our duty to work with staff to put together a landscape plan that mitigates everything that needs to be taken care of on the site, that needs to be either taken down or replaced or restored or whatever has to happen.
Because that is one thing we will not let you slide away with.
Understand.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had
So does that does that help answer your statement? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So the trees are important to this village, and make sure that we
Very
take care.
valid point.
Oh, there's other questions.
Yeah, I had the gentleman in the back, and then...
Oh, there's a woman right there that had her hand up to read her statement. We're going to do public comment. I see that some of these people are doing it right now, so I'm checking them off the list.
My name is Kathy Rare. I'm actually representing Margaret Sabos, and she wasn't able to be here tonight, so she asked me to read this, so that's why I'm going here. Mayor, Christina, and Village Board, Homer Glen has scenery, vistas, and geography like no other municipality in the area. It has easy access to Chicago and suburbs in any direction and for those traveling to and from work. Homer Glen is really a gem, attracting people who are seeking to get away from crowded living, have more room, and live in a semi-rural environment without a city-fied look. Homer Glen can provide all of this if only future proposed developments will be approved with these attributes and appeal as a way to keep the character alive. However, developer Boris Predovich proposes IRA, mixed-use project to the village. Its concept is the complete opposite. It is a picture of crowded living, density, and small lots on 15.5 acres. Condos can be found in any town. In Homer's past, condos were built in the northeast section of the village before Homer became a town. People fought hard against condos, but Will County approved that plan anyway. In Homer Glen's comprehensive land use plan, condos are not in the plan and are not allowed. So when the plan shows no condos, why is a developer allowed to present something that is not allowed? When the village starts changing their ordinances for developers, are we then headed down a path of pleasing the developer and ignoring the residents? This goes against the already established opinion of the residents. No condos. It wastes the developer's time as well as the elected officials, committees, and staffs. There is no criteria, no standard, no information, no ordinance to allow for condos. This project with condos would set a precedent for 159th Street for future development if built. By the description, it seems to have some architectural appeal, but is still a condo development. There is too much going on with this 15.5-acre parcel, too many buildings, too dense, too little openness left. In the past, a condo, townhouse, home, and business development was proposed for 159th near Parker Road. Again, the residents opposed this plan. One of the reasons the village denied it, because the plan included condos. After a period of time and a must-to-do, the plan was redrawn without condos but never built. Since Homer Glen is situated in an excellent location with great opportunities and character, it can afford to be selective about what develops within its boundaries. It can afford to promote and keep the uniqueness of larger lots, semi-rural living that other towns cannot offer. Developer Predovich has appealing architecture, design, and ideas. His project can be amended to not include condos and not be so dense. Respectfully, Margaret Sabo, former Homer Glen trustee.
Thank
These are
you.
not my words.
Yeah, we got that email. I was going to read it later, but. Chris, earlier today you'd sent an email about the density.
Yes.
Can you touch base on that for a moment? Or Boris, or?
No, I think it's Chris.
Well, yeah,
Actually, Boris, would you touch base on that for us?
Sure. So I think, Steve, do you have the numbers, if you could speak to that?
Because we don't have the actual, again, this is a presentation, so we don't have the size of the streets and all
I
that.
think it's supposed to be 6 houses per acre, and we have 4 houses per acre. So I just want to highlight and pause.
Thank you.
We pause on that. We're significantly less than your zoning requirements. I think that's important. I think on the condos, I just don't want to speak out of term.
Yeah, I think when we looked at it, I think overall, I think we're about 6 units per acre.
Well, that's a gross acre, right?
Correct, yeah.
So, yeah, so the village goes by net acreage, so that which we can't calculate unless we subtract the area for the ponds and the roads.
That is correct,
So
right.
we don't know. It could end up being 6 dwelling units per acre.
Correct.
But yeah.
And so for the residents to understand what they're saying, we don't know the size of we don't know the streets yet. We don't know all the ins and outs because this is just this is an idea, right? So we don't have the actual drawings and the map of how this is going to lay out. So they're allowed to have 6 units per acre. They're talking gross or net. Gross is complete. Net is taking out the roads. So what Chris is saying is that once their proposed development, we're taking a guess now, would be at 6. But if it was gross, it'd be at 4. I hope I clarified that a little bit more for you.
I think that sounds right.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know it sounds like a lot of math, but. Okay. Was there another question? I want to kind of move on to the presentation a little bit more to help maybe answer some questions. But is there something regarding this slide that's up here now? Sure. Chris.
Gentleman in the back.
Sure. Did you already speak yet?
He did.
Okay.
Which was just brought up by the letter. So is it in the city charter that we're not allowed to have condos?
I can't hear what he's saying.
Is it in the city charter, which the letter was read,
City
that
charter.
you're not supposed
Oh,
to
you
have
mean
condos?
in our plan?
Comprehensive plan.
No,
we
the
already-
way it was talked about was something like in the city charter.
I don't know I don't understand that question
The
though.
lady just read a letter, and part of
Okay,
that
so
letter stated,
You're referencing the comprehensive plan.
well, something in the charter said that we're not supposed to have condos in Homer Glen.
Well, you have condos.
We do have condos in Homer Glen.
Well, it said it was voted down, projects were voted down because condos were included in the project previously.
No, so the previous board liked the condo idea. 200 condos, by the way, were the homes that you see on this photo. They wanted the 200 condos, okay? When it got presented to the board previously, the word apartment was mentioned, which we all agree we don't want apartments. We all can agree. If there's something in this room we can all agree on, that's that, okay? This board went to this gentleman here and said, we don't want those 200 condos. We actually lessened it. They went from 200 condos to, I'm sorry, what was it, 66?
66.
I'm sorry, 170 condos, sorry, to 66. So we're actually making it less dense. We're getting rid of the condo development buildings that were going to be in your backyard, as some people had stated. And now it's going, the proposed, I'm sorry? The proposal right now is to put it above the businesses, not in the back.
Just to clarify, Mayor, it's 26 condos, not 66. The 40 are the townhomes.
I'm sorry, not.
No, I know, I just want to clarify so there's no confusion.
Thank
so
you.
it's 170 to 26.
I meant dwellings,
Yeah. No,
homes, residents, yeah, I got it. Okay, yes, ma'am. And then we're going to move on to the presentation. I don't mean to cut you off, but we'll take your question first.
Your math with the 4 versus 6, was that based on the total 15 acres as the bottom, or just the space where those condos go? Because it seems like it would be denser if it was.
So that's the difference between gross and net. So the overall gross acreage is 15.5.
No, I'm not asking about gross acreage. I'm saying the condos are in that little chunk in the middle there. So when you figure out your density, whatever the numbers were, 4 or 6,
No, they're not
are you
on
saying
there. They're on the-
you're using the number to say, oh, it's 66 and 15 acres? Or is it 66 in the 4 acres that takes?
Well, if you looked at the townhouses or the villas together or by themselves, it's about 4 units per acre. But all that's calculated based on gross right now because we don't have a net number because we don't have detention ponds designed yet. We don't have the roadways figured and calculated yet. So all that is, due to come. It's like I said, it's very early in the development stage at this point.
Okay, I don't think the question was answered though. So what this woman was asking is if you see where the circle is, the roundabout, and you take that second half where the homes are.
Yes.
What is the number there is what she's asking, I think.
10 acres, 40 houses.
40 houses, correct.
So you're way under.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this front section is what she was asking.
Yeah, it's basically 5 acres. The
Okay,
front
did
of it.
that answer it better for you?
So the condo part was 5 acres?
Yes.
And what's the density on that 5 acres then, if you did the math that way, instead of the entire 15-acre parcel? So you're watering it down by saying it's 15 acres. 26 divided by 5.
Yeah, I mean.
So 5.
5 units per acre.
5.2.
But we're talking about gross still, so, yeah.
I wish I had more solid numbers. It's just we don't have the net right now because it's so preliminary. All right, we're going to move the slide along a little bit just so Chris, do you have the clicker?
Yes.
Okay.
Multitasking.
So this is a picture. Go ahead, Boris.
Okay, so this will give you a perspective. This is a bird's eye view from the north end looking south. If you notice, there's a meditation area and just a Zen zone in the low, I don't know how I could explain it, right in below the houses, if you look at that. And that will be 1,100 and some feet away from Twin Lakes for perspective. That's what you would see from Twin Lakes, a portion of that possibly. If we could go to the next slide.
This is the
please.
gated community area, by the way.
It is.
So this is gated.
This is what a typical house would look like, a townhome. They're duplexes with between 1,850 and 1,950 square feet. There will be unfinished basements and some of them will be walkouts.
And it will be all brick.
All brick.
I'm sorry, can you explain what a walkout is? I think most
Yes,
people
for
get
sure.
it, but just.
Yeah. So for many of you, you have a basement, and if you have a slope in your land, you have the ability to have your great room, your whatever it is you're going to use. So you have another area that you can enjoy. It could be another 1,400 square feet of finished space if you would like that to be like a great room, something like that, playroom. So the house will be all single level, and I feel that the security, the technology, we're exploring the possibility of purifying the water and creating our own water. We understand the cost of water in Homer Glen is pretty serious, and we do have experience in taking water and purifying it from some past things. So we're exploring those options. If I can also illustrate, we will change up the color of the brick and the finishes so they don't look like cookie cutter, and there will be more color elements for the people to choose from. I think that's worth mentioning.
You mentioned elevations too. The elevations are going to change on these townhomes as well.
That's correct. So the properties, it's a beautiful property. I'm very proud to have the opportunity to have it here in Homer Glen. It rises from 159th, it has a slow rise. So I think it goes almost to the middle of the project and kind of levels off and has a slight taper back down. So I think as you're pulling up, I think the roundabout and things we're going to show you shortly, I think you'll find it. A lot of it is built, it's built for two purposes. One is so it could be a common place where people from the community, Twin Lakes, other communities in the community area can use public spaces without even to have to spend any money. And I really want to highlight that. I think it's very important to notice that you can take your bike on your bike path. There's a bike path right in front of us, and you can go and enjoy the public areas, the boardwalk, read a book, check on your phone, do social media. It seems like very popular in Homer Glen. So any one of those would be things that you guys could utilize and have it as a gathering place. And I think there's private areas, and I think there's also private as well as public areas.
I do want to pause you. Is there anyone from the school district here? No, so we did send an invite to all of the school districts because there was questions about the impact on the schools. The subdivision that was built by me, Goodings Grove, there was one child that came from to the school district, one. So you have all those homes. So how many homes are there? 40 over there on Goodings Grove?
Which ones?
The ones, Marth.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not Marth. That's
the Villas of Old Oak.
Oh, that one. I'm sorry. Yes, I think that there's
46. So 46 homeowners came in and one child. So all of these taxpayers are paying into our school district, benefiting our schools, and it brought in one child. Now typically 2 bedrooms, you said they could put a third in. So typically what age, what type of people, I don't want to say what type, I mean what age, I'm trying to figure this out.
Demographic.
I really can't discuss it, but I'm saying, yeah, I can't discuss it either. So do you typically see a lot of children impacting the schools from this type of development?
No, I don't think so. Number one, I don't think it's a starter home. So that's kind of most young people start with a starter home, have a family, and move up throughout their life. So I don't think it's a starter home. But what we did do is we put a tot lot because grandparents, we see grandparents and parents enjoying it, and we do have an area that it is a common area for whether you do have children or not, but we don't think, I think one of the commissioners said, it's really someone loves the area. All of you have said you love living here. There might be a time in your life you want to simplify. You don't want to cut your grass. You want to walk to your coffee shop instead of getting in the car and driving to Orland or to go for steak restaurant or whatever. So the goal is local conveniences, improved tax bases, and I think that that's really what it's about. And if you look at the development, it really matches well with the principles of Homer Glen and the residents. I hope I can illustrate some of that in the next few slides, but
I know
that was our
the
attempt.
attorney's probably going to kill me because I keep asking questions, but these are questions that were brought to me, okay? So on this land, on this parcel of land that you have, if you weren't to build homes, as somebody said they didn't want to look at a home, it's zoned commercial. What is something else that could be put there?
In an inexpensive strip mall.
A strip mall.
I think that'd be great.
Where the back of the strip mall would have like the dumpsters and the garbage trucks and all that fun stuff back there, right? Okay, just wanted to ask you, what would you put there if it wasn't homes?
Yeah.
Or what would be allowed, I should say?
I think we're creating an elevated living experience. That's what we're really doing. And you're right, there is no such thing in Homer Glen right now. That should be exciting. I understand with excitement comes change, and many of us don't like change. But I think the key point with change is if it's for the better, you're being part of the future. Otherwise, we become like dinosaurs. We start dying because we don't want to change.
All right, if we can move to the next slide.
This is another perspective. So if you look at the left, kind of mimics and mirrors the right. So there's a boardwalk along the building that is public. There's walkways and seating area for walking your dog, just walking with your grandchild or your child, and there's duplicate walks. You can see the sidewalks as you pull into the ARIA driveway or the street, and then there's a secondary walk that gets you closer into the trees and the mature landscaping that we intend to install. This is a close-up of the rooftop condominiums. It's a lifestyle design that you could have indoor and outdoor experiences, very private, and I think it'll really show and highlight the sunset and sunrises of and the nature of Homer Glen.
And those are the penthouse ones on the top, correct? Okay.
And you can even see the ones right below it, which is it's right above the commercial. It also has balconies, and the upstairs penthouses have terraces. A little bit more of a close-up on the boardwalk and the seating area. We superimposed some names, so don't read too much into the names or at all. But it's a seating area that is for private, so you could have a restaurant could be on the corner, have indoor-outdoor dining, and there would be common areas that you could just walk and, like I said, just come and enjoy the experience with us. This is the front elevation as you would be coming into the community off of 159th Street. And this particular illustration shows the building that would be to the east.
Is there questions so far? No? Okay, sorry, just raise your hand if you have a question.
Very similar illustration highlighting the west building. We're just really trying to highlight the fact that whether you live there or you're nearby or you're coming from Orland or somewhere else, the goal is that we have people come to our destination location, spend the money here, as opposed to residents from Homer Glen having to always leave Homer Glen to be able to go to a restaurant, coffee shop, and some of the amenities that we plan to offer at ARIA. So this is the transition. So this would be entry. There's a roundabout right in front of that illustration right there. That would be the beginning of the gated community. Before we go to the next slide, if you look, if you open that door, the first thing you'll see is a double-sided fireplace. And that fireplace and that whole pavilion is designed for gathering of different events. If you don't mind, if we could go to the next slide. Okay, so you open that door and here you come. There's a large screen TV, there's the fireplace and kind of a formal seating area. On the opposite side of the fireplace, there's an area for enjoying the fireplace, and you could enjoy your marshmallows and the things we like to do in the fall and the springtime, even in the summer sometimes, not so much in the winter like now. But to the right of that illustration, before we move there, there's a putting green. To the left, there's a tot lot. So what we did is we created seating areas so somebody might really enjoy the golfing and some people might just want to hang out there and just watch them. Same thing with a tot lot. There's an area to be very active and there's an area that you could just observe. And that kind of makes it a little bit warmer for those that might have handicap or limitations that are not able to participate in some of the things. Like my father was handicapped, so he couldn't maybe participate, but he could visually experience it. Next slide. There's the illustration of the tot lot. I think that kind of gives you a feel what it would feel like. It is worth highlighting we would have a separation from the road to the tot lot for safety reasons. We did not show that because that would block the visual of what we're trying to illustrate here. This is to the right, as I said, to the east, and that's the putting green. If you notice the pavilion, it's open space. You could say, why is that? Well, this thing that is called COVID came, and I think if we do this right, if it ever came back or those kind of things, you're still able to be in open environments and see your neighbor, interact, walk your dog, and that's really our intention. So it could be used no matter what the future would bring. This is a good illustration, kind of perspective, what it would feel like. This is the meditation areas we talked about. It is worth highlighting, it is significantly lower than the housing. So from when you're there, you will not see the houses, so it'll be a totally private area. It's good for yoga, anything that you want to just slow down and enjoy the natural beauty of Homer Glen. This is a meet and greet location, so we made that by the visitor parking. Our thought behind that is oftentimes you have people that may be a contractor or somebody you just meet and picking stuff up. So you can sit there with them, not necessarily need them to have to go to your home. You can interact with them, have a conversation, and then they could take off. So it's another place too, as you're walking around and getting your exercise in, it's another area that you can relax and have a stopping point.
That's all we have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to pause you there for a second. So I know there was some people on the public comment. Was there anybody that was on this public comment? Because we're going to have public comment next, but I want to give you the opportunity to ask, if you have a question, to ask the question now.
I got one more question. What is it on the light pollution?
I can't hear.
What is the light effect on the night sky?
Okay, if I heard you correctly, what is the light?
Right.
Yes, we would stay within the compliance and the regulations of the county.
We got nice night skies out here. Like I says, I don't want to see bright lights like I see coming from Orland and everywhere else.
I respect that. I think that's a very valid point. I don't think that's what Homer Glen's about, and that's not what we intend to build.
She's coming with the microphone behind you. I can't.
Boris, what's your background? Have you pulled something off like this before?
Can you please state your name? I'm so sorry.
I'm Larry.
Hi, Larry.
And then I have a comment after that. Just a question.
I didn't hear the question.
Have you done something like this before? This is a big to-do.
Yeah.
Excuse me, 40-year resident of the village, too. So.
Yes, if I could answer that. So my background is my father was a builder and a woodworker, so I think I've been around construction for a long time. I built my first townhome development in my late 20s on Taylor Street, Taylor and Oakley. Always encourage people to look at my projects. I've done some stuff around here, built a nice custom home in Lamont, 1049 Hilltop, if anybody wanted to check that. I also built a car wash that opened 2 years ago. That's at 9300 South Kingery Highway, New Wave Car Wash. I encourage you to look at that. About 6 years ago, we completed and built a 50-acre biotech park, biosafety level 2, which was designed for vaccine testing. So I think I have plenty of experience to do this. And I think it is worth highlighting beyond that. So it's not about me, it's always about the team. I'm just part of the team. ICI Contractors out of Oak Brook Terrace, they have significant experience. You guys can look at their website as well. We encourage you to do that. They're very familiar with the restaurants and this kind of construction. So we do not see a challenge beyond the realities. It's a big project. It definitely is a big project, but it's not 50 acres, and that's where we just came from. So hopefully that answers your question, Larry?
It did, yes. And my comment is, I might get booed out of here. I'm kind of liking the project. I do. I think you have to balance things out. There's some definite issues. We have to balance some things out. My wife said, wow, those are nice units. I'm familiar with the Martha project at 143rd and Golden Oak, and they sold a lot of them. Like it or not, folks, change is coming. We butt up to Tierling Nursery. I know that's not in Homer Glen, but it's going to impact us. There's building jumping over us, and it's, you know, the building's coming here. I think if you don't come here, you're going somewhere else. I wouldn't mind seeing it here, so best of luck.
Thank you for your comments. They mean a lot to us.
And before you ask the next question, Boris, can you, I don't know if you touched on, what is the tax revenue that the businesses will generate to the village?
So we've kind of, rough math, just big math for right now. We'll refine it as we move further along. There's over $1 million of annual real estate taxes that would be generated, and there would be another $1 million or greater of sales tax generated per year.
In your investment too, Boris, isn't it approximately $60 million?
Yes. I think the retail, depending what it shakes out as, we see that the retail price would be somewhere north of $60 million.
Thank you.
This woman was first, right there, yeah.
Hi, my name is Jessica. Okay, so you talked about on Golden Oak, those similar duplexes. Are those 55 and older?
No, so they were geared towards 55 and older. It's very similar to what they're building, and I can tell you that they sold between 500, I think the most expensive were over $900,000 that were sold for those.
Okay, so this is much more luxurious though than those are.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have young kids, I'm in that age bracket, and this is very appealing to somebody who would be my age, so I am concerned about it bringing in more children when our schools are already so maxed out. I mean, my kids are on the bus for almost an hour sometimes. We don't have drivers. I mean, you know the classrooms are full, so.
Oh, I do know that one. I do know that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge concern.
100%, and that's why we invited the school district here today, because there was another development that was coming in once upon a time, and it was geared towards families. So when the school district came and said, you know, this would impact our schools, and that's why this, I'm not going to say that it's restricted to, I mean, my husband's 53 and we have a 7-year-old. So, I mean, it's going to happen. We love our kids, we do. I do understand that our school districts are starting to pop at the seams, but this is why this is, a development like this brings in tax revenue. It helps our school district without impacting the classroom.
Okay.
If it was different, I might be having a different tune on it.
Can I go?
Oh, is it? I didn't know that was your hand.
My name is Patty. I was going to do.
I saw you on here.
Right, but basically everything has been talked about that I had wanted to speak about, other than the impact on traffic. We already have a problem with traffic. We have a huge problem in Twin Lakes subdivision with traffic cutting through. So I have heard that people have asked for a stop sign. We're on the corner of Twin Lakes and Black Forest. We're on the corner. I'm retired. I see what's going on there. The cars come through so fast, and I'm talking about between 40 and 60 miles an hour, cars cutting through there. There are also, when the buses stop, I have witnessed cars cutting through there and almost hitting children. This is already an issue in our subdivision and on 159th. This is going to impact traffic significantly.
So hold on, if I could just stop you. There is no access to your subdivision from this. There's no access. I understand 100% what you're talking about with the speeding. I live off Hiawatha. I understand exactly what you're saying. Public safety is a place I would like you to go. It's a meeting. Trustee Mason is in charge of that, and we're happy to talk to the sheriff's office. Is Pete back there? Do you hear what she's saying?
Quit hiding, Pete.
Can we get an officer on her street? And
I've asked numerous times.
Oh, well, he's here now. You just asked him in front of everybody.
Yes. So I have called numerous times.
Madam, I'm the Chair of Public Service and Safety, and this is the first I've ever heard of this, and I will talk to Lieutenant Piazza, and if you come to a safety meeting and give us good clarification on what you're seeing, we'll see what we can't do.
You're saying that this would not impact traffic in our subdivision?
Not since I've been the chair. I've never heard this about your area that you're discussing.
What she's saying is this development, there's no access, there's no cross access to your subdivision for this.
People try to avoid the stop signs and different traffic. When you're trying to avoid that, you cut through Twin Lakes subdivision. I see it, I know it.
Right, ma'am, but what I'm saying to you is, if your subdivision, so you're on Black Pine, you said?
No, Black Forest.
Black Forest.
So they're cutting through there. When you start putting stores and this and that, people are wanting to avoid those stoplights. They're going to cut through. It's going to add to traffic, not to mention the traffic on 159.
I think what she's saying is they're going to cut through from 159th Street?
Yes.
To go to where? To Wilcook Road? But they're heading this way.
Well, they got to leave there too, right?
Just for
Boris, will you mind addressing this? Oh,
So
sorry.
I hear you, I do, but I do think that you might be we're further west. You're Twin Lakes, so you're talking about Twin Lakes going to Wilcook. That has really no impact. We have no impact on that.
So I'm saying it's going the opposite way.
No, people can cut through on 159th through our subdivision. They can cut through off of Wilcook Road, and it happens all the time.
But why would they do that if they have a left in, if they're...
It's almost a half a mile away.
Why are they doing it now, then?
Especially when it's being built, that's gonna be
There's more construction going to be going on, they're going to have more reason to come through to avoid it.
Okay, so, yeah, let's talk more about that in detail. You can call me, we can meet up for coffee or something. I don't understand where that's going with this, and maybe it's just I'm not understanding. And I'm happy to sit out there and watch and see, and I know Pete's raising his hand back there, and he'll do the same. Was there another question? Because I mean, we do have a regular scheduled board meeting we got to get to too, unless you guys want to hang out. But Patty, I want to ask you a question. Do you feel better about this development now that you've actually seen the presentation? In fact, everybody in this room, do you feel better about what was presented tonight?
I don't.
Okay. Yes, I hear yes and no. I see heads. I see everything going everywhere. Okay. Well, I just wanted to get opinion from it, but okay. Was there another question? Oh, one more hand, and then we're going to cut it off after that. No more? No more questions? Oh, there. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Vic. I was just going to say, yeah, it looks beautiful and all that good stuff and change and all that stuff. I believe in all that. But if you look right down, like west down 159th, you got a bunch of open fields for sale with a whole lot more room to do this instead of cramming it in such a small area right next to Twin Lakes subdivision. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to ask for a motion to I'm sorry, Boris.
I just wanted to thank you for the neighbors. I appreciate you guys, all your comments. It's okay that we disagree. I really value what you believe, and I appreciate the opportunity to prove myself that I could do a great job for everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Boris.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to return.
I'm on the sheet for public comment.
We're going to go into that right now. Is there a motion to reinstate the rules?
I'll make them, all right?
Trustee Holzhauser, Trustee Mason, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we are now going to go into the public comment portion of the second public comment. And you are?
Hi, I'm Linda Stone.
Oh, you were number one.
I was, yeah.
Still are.
I live in, thank you. I live in Twin Lakes. I've been there for, my husband and I and my family have been there for 33 years. Just getting back to that traffic issue, perhaps you could conduct a study. That would be really great. I think in our area, whoever is in charge of that, that would be wonderful. I appreciate the work that the board does over here, and over the years, I've never felt a need to become involved in board matters until now. In Twin Lakes, we're all aware that we pay high taxes, we pay high water bills. We were promised a park in our subdivision that was never delivered. It's kind of comical now. We don't complain. What I don't like is the rezoning. I don't oppose commercial development. As a matter of fact, this gentleman's property is just beautiful. And I love the idea of walking from Twin Lakes, walking, perhaps even a sidewalk, get to Dunkin' Donuts, get to to Ruby Agave or the Phoenix and other restaurants that can happen on 159th Street. I think that would be wonderful. 66 dwellings, that density would overwhelm the area, increase congestion, and diminish our small town character. That's how I feel. My larger concern, though, tonight is that changing the zoning on 159th Street to mixed use could set a precedent. It feels like pulling the Band-Aid and opening the door to broader zoning changes throughout Homer Glen, which would alter the community many of us have chosen to call our home for decades. Decades we have lived here, and we never even, in my home, we never even give our comments. Should this come to a vote at a future meeting, I respectfully ask the board to vote no on changing the zoning on 159th Street to mixed use and say no to the ARIA project. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Linda.
Do you want this off?
Patty, I know you were on, you already spoke, but if you're on the public comment if you wanted to speak again.
Everything was talked about that I had on there.
Okay, perfect. I just didn't want to skip you.
Thank you.
Tom Kavanaugh? You did it? All right, good. Cynthia, you stated, you read yours already. Kathy Rear, you stated yours already. Anthony Kramer? No? Rest of the left. Robin Brink?
Kramer.
No? And Ina? Keefe? Were you good? Okay, all right, so public comment, all right. Do you guys want to stay for the rest of the board meeting? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys, a minute to leave. Thank you, guys. And please email us, call us if you have questions. I'm happy to answer or chat.
Thank you very much, boys.
Thank you, guys. Oh, come on, nobody's gonna say, Lynn, oh, see, I got my guys, there we go. Bye, thank you. Thank you. Even my parents are leaving. Oh. All right, so we're going to continue on with the meeting. We're going to move on to legislation and action items. L1, consider for approval the mayor's appointment of Carly Bowes to the Ability Awareness Committee. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Mason?
I'll second.
Trustee Lepore? I don't see her in the audience tonight, but she did come to the Ability Awareness Meeting. She is an amazing woman and she wants to be a part of it, so I'm happy to have her. So Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Motion carries. L2, consider for approval the mayor's appointment of Beth Mitchell to the Ability Awareness Committee. Is there a motion?
I will make that motion.
Trustee Holzhauser, Trustee Mason, any discussion? No. She did come to the last meeting as well. Again, another amazing person who wants to join the committee, so I'm happy to have her. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 3, consider for approval the mayor's appointment of Trustee Schaller to the Environmental Committee.
No way. I'll make the motion.
Trustee Mason, is there a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Lepore. Trustee Schaller, you got anything to say?
Thank you, Mayor. I was at the last environmental committee meeting. We're already working on it. Director Gruba is deep into the tree ordinance, and I believe we should have that wrapped up by, I'm going to say by the end of the month.
Wow,
Nice.
action items.
Yeah, see? All right, sounds good. I guess, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Abstain.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 4, consider for approval an ordinance with conditions granting 1, a special use for major change to the PUD with exceptions, 2, a special use for a car wash classified as an automobile repair, service, and body shop use, 3, a special use for a drive-through establishment, 4, a special use for an automobile service station, gas station, 5, a special use for a 24-hour operation, Lot 2 only, and 6, site improvement plans for unified development for certain real property located in the C2 Local Business Zone District at 13812 South Bell Road and 13830 South Bell Road, Homer Glen, Illinois, HG 2530-PUD. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor, I would like to move to table, and this is due to the fact we can get this to the next board meeting, but due to the proposed language in Exhibit B 1 through 10, which in my view is a little argumentative, it's not that we won't consider it, but we would like to review and propose alternative facts and findings. We will consider all the facts to adopt and clean up the wording, then consider final adoption. So I move to table to allow us to have time at the next board meeting to review and submit alternative findings.
Is there a second on the table?
I'll second, Mayor.
Trustee Reinders. Right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll, since there's no discussion on a table.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
We'll have it tabled to the next board meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to move on to number 5. Consider for approval an ordinance granting an amendment of a special use permit for outdoor sales and storage for certain real property located in the C3 General Business District at 15830 South Bell Road, Homer Glen, Illinois, case number HG 2526-SP. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Lepore?
Second.
Trustee Schaller, sorry. Trustee Lepore?
No comment. Thank you.
Trustee Schaller?
Thank you, Mayor. I have no issues with this approval of granting an amendment to the special use permit regarding their storage area. They already have some existing use out there where they have items for sale, and it's been that way for quite some time. I think it's a good ordinance.
Okay. Trustee Reinders?
I have no issue with it, Mayor.
Trustee Holzhauser?
No, I think it's housekeeping.
Trustee Mason?
I concur with Trustee Schaller.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 6, consider for approval an ordinance granting a conditional parking adjustment to reduce the number of required parking spaces from 374 to 222 total spaces, the running supply building located within the C3 General Business Zoning District at 15830 South Bell Road, Homer Glen, Illinois, HG 2532-P. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Lepore? Trustee Reinders? Any discussion?
The parking reduction is well within the traffic patterns and the amount of customers they see. No issues.
No issues.
No issues.
Coincides with what, with the previous.
And they're going to even stripe the old spots that they cannot identify at this time, so they're actually cleaning up and doing housekeeping themselves.
Trustee Holzhauser, you're the only one.
No, I
Okay.
agree with my fellow trustees.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 7, consider for approval of Illinois Department of Transportation, IDOT, resolution for improvement under the Highway Code for resurfacing of various streets and maintenance of streetlights throughout the village of Homer Glen as part of the village's roadway resurfacing and streetlight maintenance program. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Mason, is there a second?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Reinders, any discussion?
No, this is something that we need to do. It comes from the MFT funds. It's for putting our streetlights back together and making sure we're maintaining them and taking care of our roads.
I concur.
Anybody else?
No issues.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser?
Trustee Holzhauser?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
Yay.
Yay.
I didn't know that you were talking about it.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We're on the motion to approve number 7.
L7, the light.
We could come back to you if you.
All right, I come
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Trustee
motors, well,
Schaller?
yeah, I'm sorry, yes, I approve.
Okay, Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 8, consider for approval of resolution number 26-004, a resolution approving the following executive session minutes: July 9th, 2025, July 23rd, 2025, August 13th, 2025, August 27th, 2025, and September 10th, 2025. The executive session minutes still require confidential treatment and are not to be released. Is there a motion?
We don't have that.
I'll make
Make
that
a motion.
We don't have that in there.
Trustee Mason, is there a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Lepore, what was that?
It's not on my agenda. 8 is not on here.
Just,
It isn't either.
I need to see what was posted on the door and posted online. So there's, I know, but I need to make sure what's posted on, do we still have the agenda posted on the door? Or what was
I
posted
do
online?
believe there was an email, there was an update to it.
Right, but for public purposes, we have to make sure that it was posted publicly. Does it say item 8 and 9 on there under 7?
No, not on 9.
I'm sorry, what did you,
8.
I printed it at home, it's not there.
It was,
you print it?
it's on there.
it's, here, can you please bring it up, ma'am? And where did you recover this from? All right. Yes, this was.
So it was updated Monday?
The agenda was updated Monday prior to 5:30, and it was emailed to everyone, and according to the deputy clerk, it was placed outside.
Okay, so we're still good. Just making sure we're following the rules. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 9, consider for approval Resolution Number 26-005, a resolution waiving the application and enforcement of Chapter 75-11 of the Village Code to building permit application numbers 202510128 and 202510129. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Schaller, is there a second?
Aye, sorry, I'll second that motion.
Trustee Lepore, any discussion?
No discussion.
No comment.
Nope.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
All right, we're going to move on to old business. Is there any old new business? Any new business? Okay, is there a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussion regarding personnel, discussion regarding pending and ongoing litigation, discussion regarding public utilities, and discussion on executive session minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Lepore?
I'll second.
Trustee Mason, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we're going to take just like a 5-minute recess.
Thank you.